My name is Keith Rommel, and I am the author of multiple books through Sunbury Press underneath the Hellbender imprint. Psychological suspense, horror, thriller, monsters, legends. You can find it all there. When I was a child, I had a very clever teacher, and this teacher understood that I had a reading comprehension disability, and she suggested that I get some comic books, and that was my homework assignment. Went in with a couple of comic books, handed them to the teacher. I took a test on them later on in the day, and I aced my test, and she realized that I was a visual learner. And that's created a lifetime of comic book reading for me for many, many, many years. And I joined a writing group. And the writing group that I joined was very instrumental in giving me feedback. The name of the website is called The Critique Circle. What it is, it's a site that you would post your work, but you would also have to critique people in return. So you have to be interactive. And it was very instrumental in shaping my first book, The Cursed Man. So if I'm writing my main series, which is the Shade of the Reaper series, previously known as the Thanatology series, those are very deep and tiring stories for me to write because they're very complex. So I started poking around in crime just because I really like fast-paced books and I don't like over-description. That was one of my first ventures out, and that was in the You Killed My Brother series. And then what I did was I started getting interested in local legends, and that was what really started pulling me out of the Shade of the Reaper series. Give me a little bit of a brain break because I had the shell that I already needed to write rather than creating this whole world myself. So there was a little bit of a nugget there for me already to build off of, and I've since found that I really like writing legend-based stories. I actually prefer writing the novel, even though writing the novel is more laborious. It takes a long time, takes a lot of dedication. You have to have a very good memory. So if your novel takes you a year, 2 years, or like my first novel, 5 years, you get really intimate with the novel. When I was doing the screenplays, for The Cursed Man, The Lurking Man, The Sinful Man is in queue somewhere. They're all based off of my books because the information is already there. I use the manuscript as an outline, and I just use the key points of the novel, and that's how I write my screenplay. Sometimes it's hard because every page that you write is 1 minute of screen time. So if you want an hour-and-a-half movie, very simple, that's 90 pages. So you have a 450-page book, chop that baby down to 90 pages. It's hard to do, but it's fun because you're just, again, taking the key points and turning it into the visual medium. I think that writing the screenplays, in a sense, is a little bit more rewarding, where it seems a little bit more glorious. But in my mind, the novels are, all the TV shows that we watch, all the books that we read, all the comic books that we read, all the audio books that we listen to. That's a person sitting around developing an idea. And to me, that's the flashpoint. I'm always partial to my newer work. Very seldom do I release something and just go, not really sure. But I really like Delicately Disturbed. So if you're a fan of the serial killer genre and you like fast-paced stories, I tried not to overdo the gore, and I was trying to be very cognizant of that, but I wanted to put in the creep factor of a serial killer because they're just weird. And if you like more complex reads, then absolutely you go after the Shade of the Reaper series, The Cursed Man, Lurking Man, Sinful Man. The Sinful Man is the third book in the series, but the first 5 books can actually be read in any order. And in my opinion, The Sinful Man is a good punch in your face psychological thriller. It's really cool. It's about a guy that dies and he's in the afterlife. He wakes up in this forest and there's these things that are chasing him. And he comes across a cabin and he's panicking and he's trying to get away from these things. He gets into the cabin. That's his judgment inside the cabin, the person that's waiting for him in the cabin. But the things outside of the cabin are all of the sins and misdeeds that he did through his life given form. And they're looking for revenge because their existence is very painful. I love that book. It's a really good book. And then again, if you want lighter reads, then you have my other crime one. You have You Killed My Brother, and then the monster ones. I did even one with climate change. I was asked to write that. That's Ice Canyon Monster. Then you have White River Monster, which is again a very light read, and it's based off of a river that actually exists in Arkansas. Another legend-based book. What I want to say is for people that are in the midst of their writing adventure, no matter how far you are into it, believe in yourself and believe in your dreams, because there was a stage in my life where I was told that my writing was stupid and that nobody would ever be interested in it. So with that said, follow your dreams, stay the course, and believe in yourself, and it will happen. Don't listen to negativity, because nobody wants to see you while you're climbing up a ladder. They don't want to see your feet. Most people will try to drag you down. Get rid of that negativity and believe in yourself. I think it's important.